How's it going, football fans? Student meteorologist Alex McAvoy here with Fantasy Football Forecast Week 6. Now, last week for Week 5, we didn't see much of a weather impact around the nation in any of the football games, but this week will be a different story. So as always, we have our weather impact on football, our WIF forecast, and this is a categorization based on how much weather we might see during the games and how bad that weather might potentially be. Going around the nation now, we have a weather bell product. This is just showing the temperatures that we can expect to see Sunday for the games. And really, we're just seeing some hot temperatures down in the southeast and over in Phoenix, where in Phoenix there's just a dome game, so that really doesn't matter. But up in the northeast, it looks like a reasonable day for football. And over in the west coast, that's where we're going to see some of the severe weather. Going on the rainfall amounts now, the rain happening during the times of the games, we might be seeing some rain move into the west coast area, impacting Oakland and Seattle for their games. Also in Buffalo and Miami are our areas to watch for this week. And this is also the wind forecast. This is just showing the winds about 30 feet above the ground, and that's really close to the surface, so it'll be close to surface winds also. We'll see in New York, Buffalo, and Chicago, as well as the West Coast and Miami might have some of those wind impacts during their games. So we're going to go game by game and now look at what we can expect to see for these games. So starting off with 1 p.m. Daylight Savings Time games, you see Ford Field. There shouldn't be too much happening here. It's just a dome game. No weather impacts there really. Again, with Saints game, Mercedes-Benz Superdome, Category 1 game because it's also in a dome in the southeast down there. Gillette Stadium, this is Category 2 game. It's going to be looking very nice there. Not too much happening weather-wise. MetLife Stadium, Baltimore versus New York Giants. We're seeing 68 degrees, no % chance of rain, and a Category 2 game there also. Now going on to the Nissan Stadium, we see Tennessee versus Cleveland. Looks like a very nice day down in Nashville for a game. 78 degrees, 6% chance of rain, and just slight winds. Category 2 game there. FedEx Field, Washington versus Philadelphia. 68 degrees. Again, it's one of those reasonable days for a game there. Soldier Field, Jacksonville versus Chicago. This is where the games start to get a little bit more enhanced risk for weather. You see Category 3 game in Chicago because it's going to be cloudy, but there is a 40% chance of rain, and that may have an impact on the game if the rain does happen. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, like I said, Miami might be seeing some winds and rain during the game time. We give it 82 degrees, 50% chance of rain, but look at those winds, 16 miles per hour, so that's why I give it a Category 3 game here. Now going on New Era Field, we see San Francisco versus Buffalo in Buffalo, New York. It's going to be a very windy game, 22 mile per hour winds and 50% chance of rain. This could have a strong weather impact on the game, this area. Now going on the 4 p.m. games, we aren't seeing too much happening in Green Bay. 68 degrees, looks like it might be a cloudy day up there, but slight winds, 68 degrees as I said, at Lambeau Field. Now we're going to head over to the West Coast and look at these games where we see Category 4 starting out, Kansas City versus Oakland. And this game in Seattle are going to be the ones that we need to watch out for weather-wise. 90% chance of rain and very strong winds. So it's going to be a Category 4 game, as well as in Seattle. Like I said, CenturyLink Field is going to see 58 degrees, but a very high chance of rain here again. So these conditions at these stadiums will not be very favorable for any football games. South winds at 20 miles per hour, that is really going to affect kicking and passing also. Now let's go on to Sunday Night Football. We see Indianapolis versus Houston down in Houston, Texas. Looks like a very nice night, 83 degrees. Southeast winds at 2 miles per hour. They might have the dome on, the retractable roof, but I think that they'll probably have it open because it's going to be such a nice night there. Monday Night Football now, we're going to be seeing New York Jets at Arizona. This is in a dome, so we shouldn't see any weather impacts for this game. So that wraps it up for Week 6 of the Fantasy Football Forecast. Please be sure to follow our Twitter and Instagram pages, as well as like and subscribe to our YouTube pages for more awesome content. Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for Week 7 of the Fantasy Football Forecast.